we're gonna do today is talk about 10 things nobody tells you about before moving to Winston-Salem, especially if you're coming from out of town to see what life really feels like living here. So if you're thinking about moving to Winston-Salem in 2026, now Winston-Salem is a great place and has a really good fit, but you need to understand what life would actually be like living in Winston-Salem, because on the outside, it just looks like another mid-sized city in North Carolina, but it has so much more. What people don't tell you about is how much character Winston-Salem has and how much history it has and how easy it is to live in Winston-Salem. And the neighborhoods have so much variation and so much character. And Winston-Salem has a lot of little quirks that either make you love this city or make you think that maybe you need to check out another city in North Carolina. But what we're gonna do in just a few minutes is jump in and talk about those 10 things that nobody tells you about before moving to Winston-Salem. Let's start out with number one, is that Winston-Salem has a lot more charm than people actually expect. What I'm meaning when I say character and how Winston-Salem has a lot of character, meaning it has Old Salem, it has Ronalda, it has the Innovation Quarter, it has older neighborhoods with tons of charm. So now Innovation alone has 330 acres and it's on the eastern portion of downtown. Now this area is more of an urban regrowth area. It's actually a really cool area. There's a lot of green space, a lot of walking trails and bike trails. It is a fabulous area. There's a ton of research and medical offices over there. A lot of med students will actually do a lot of research in that area. It's a really cool place to live and enjoy life. Bailey Park is also in the Innovation Quarter, and that's about 1.6 acres. And that is a place in a park that the city uses all the time. I have gone to many yoga classes during the summer. It is really cool to do an evening yoga class in Bailey Park, and then you get done with yoga and you can go over and hit Cucina Forno's, or you can hit another amazing restaurant downtown, or just enjoy yourself in Bailey Park, which has a great deal of atmosphere and just a cool place. And this is why Winston-Salem is so functional and it is so easy to enjoy. And the second thing you need to know about Winston-Salem is it really is a street by street specific city. It's not just neighborhood by neighborhood. You really need to know where you're looking for a home, where you're living, where you're at in Winston-Salem, because that's going to depend on whether or not you will love it or hate it. Because certain streets you may not like the vibe and you may like the vibe of other areas. So you really can't look at a home and say, I love that home, that's the home I'm gonna buy. You have to understand where the home is located, what street it's on, what area it's in, and whether or not that area is gonna work for your lifestyle. So many people just bring up, I want a great neighborhood in a great street and I love that house. And I really do have to go back and tell them it really depends on where you're looking at in Winston-Salem. It really can depend on from block to block in Winston-Salem and whether or not that works for your lifestyle. The third thing that you definitely need to know about Winston-Salem is that some areas will seem very walkable, but it's still a very car-dependent city. Greensboro is the same way, and I've talked about that in multiple videos, but for sure Winston-Salem is a car-dependent city, so you will probably need transportation. They do have public transportation, but it is not as accessible as it is in other big cities because, again, Winston-Salem is not a large city. It's more of a mid-sized city. So you will have transportation that would match that size of city. So I would not say that it is built like Charlotte or San Francisco, where there's a ton of transportation, BART and trains and all those different types of public transportation. We just don't have it here, and you will need transportation living in Winston-Salem. But if you like outdoor activities, Winston-Salem is the place for you. So with that aspect, it is walkable. There is a 7-mile loop at Salem Lake, which is one of my favorite places to walk or ride my bike. So if you like to walk, that is a great place for you. There's also a 25-mile greenway system that runs throughout Winston-Salem and other parts of Winston-Salem, as well as down in Innovation Quarter, where we have that 330 acres of different businesses, medical facilities, as well as walking trails and bike trails. Winston-Salem is a great place to be outdoors. Now, being that Winston-Salem is a a car dependent city, and I talk about this in many other videos and I repeat myself over and over again, but it's important for you to know that it is a car dependent city, but that doesn't mean that you're going to have really, really long commute times or be in your car for hours upon hours in traffic. The average commute time in Winston-Salem is 20 minutes and 7 seconds. I'm going kind of exact on that because I'm always telling you it's about 20-25 minutes to get anywhere and everywhere in Winston-Salem or Greensboro, but that is honestly the truth. So you will not be spending a ton of time commuting unless your job is just further away, because the commute times in the city are not that bad, as well as the traffic. Our traffic jams are really not that bad compared to big cities. I mean, growing up in San Francisco, I just remember us sitting for hours upon hours in traffic sometimes. I would drive on the weekends to go visit my brother in Sacramento, and that should be a 2.5 hour drive. And sometimes that would be a 5 or 6 hour drive because of the traffic. It was a nightmare. Or being in LA, I remember it should be a half an hour drive and it was a 2.5 to 3 hour drive to get to the airport from one part of LA back to the airport. It was a nightmare. Winston-Salem, we don't have that yet, and I hope we never do, but right now we are so blessed with not having bad traffic problems. Now there's a lot of construction going on, so you will have a little bit more holdup if you are stuck in a construction zone, because we're building beltways, we're building new highways, so there is a lot of construction going on in the area. So that's the only place that I will tell you that you will run into traffic, is maybe if you're in a construction area. But the benefits of these new highways and beltways that they are putting through the city are going to be amazing. We already have one of them that's open and I use it all the time, and I love that road. I just absolutely love the new beltway, that's the portion that is open. I absolutely love it. It is so nice. It helps save so much time getting to other parts of Winston-Salem. So that is a huge benefit. And it also opens the accessibility up to Walkertown and different little suburbs outside Winston-Salem. So these are some of the benefits of the construction, even though it's annoying right now. The fourth thing you need to know about Winston-Salem is that Winston-Salem really sits as a smaller city. And what I mean about that is that it truly is and feels like a smaller city than it actually is. There's about 250 to 260,000 people that live in Winston-Salem. So it feels like a smaller city. I actually feel like it's a pretty good sized city, but the fact is that it is not a large city. So that is something to understand and make sure you're okay with, that this is not a large metropolitan area. Now, the way that we're connected to High Point in Greensboro, it actually feels pretty large and it's very spread out because we are the Triad and all the cities kind of run together. So you're not going to feel like you're in a small town, but Winston-Salem is not a huge, large city. It's a mid-sized city for sure. And it has mid-sized amenities. So that's definitely something also to think about. This also means, because it is a smaller city and it feels and sits like a smaller city, is that more than likely you're going to run into people that you know. I kind of like that. It does give you a really good community feel. It's a great place to live. It's an easy place to live. I always call it like the after school special city, because it does feel like it's one of those cities that you would see in the 80s and 90s after school special TV shows. It is a great place to live. The fifth thing that you did not know about Winston-Salem is that healthcare really shapes this city. One thing you really need to know is that Wake Forest Baptist Atrium and Forsyth Hospital are two of the larger employers of Winston-Salem, and that the hospital or healthcare life really does shape this city. There are so many different healthcare workers that are either working in Winston-Salem. There's med students here that are studying to become doctors or surgeons, or doing their rotations, or there's traveling nurses. There are so many healthcare workers, as well as the healthcare system is so large in this city that it is a major focus of Winston-Salem, which is kind of funny because it used to be tobacco. And it's funny how it's changed, and that the two largest employers in the way that the city is shaped is by healthcare, because it wasn't like that years and years ago. It used to be RJ Reynolds Tobacco, and that used to be the way that this city was shaped, as well as textiles. So I think that's pretty amazing that the city has changed over the years and become known for healthcare rather than tobacco or textiles. It kind of is really cool to think about that. The sixth thing is that the best neighborhoods also come with older homes. If you do not want an older home, then some of the best neighborhoods in Winston-Salem may not be the place for you, and you may want to look beyond those neighborhoods. But the most popular neighborhoods in Winston-Salem also come with older homes and older home problems. And those older home problems are going to be foundation issues, renovating, older roofs, older windows, and everything in between. Some of the benefits of the older neighborhoods are going to be mature landscaping, mature trees, the charm that comes with a mature neighborhood. And those are the aspects that people absolutely love in Winston-Salem and these top 6 neighborhoods. Some of the benefits though of Winston-Salem, and these are huge benefits, and this goes along from older homes to new construction homes, is that the median sales price in Winston-Salem is about $309,000, and that clearly is 25 to 33% lower than other parts of the country, which make Winston-Salem a very affordable and livable city, and something you definitely need to check out. The 7th thing that you really need to think about before moving to Winston-Salem is that your daily life can be more spread out than you expected. Even though this is a smaller city and it is not that large and it takes about 20 to 25 minutes to get anywhere and everywhere, certain things that you do or maybe on a daily basis can be very spread out. And it can take you longer than you think to get your daily errands run. You have to figure out what part of Winston-Salem works and where you do your shopping and what your lifestyle would actually be. Where do you like to go to the gym? Where do you like to shop? And maybe figure out what area, neighborhood, or home that would actually work for your lifestyle. Otherwise, you might be spending more time driving. And remember, again, that Winston-Salem is not as walkable as a lot of other cities, so you will have to have a car or be car dependent living in Winston-Salem. And your commute time and daily activities can really be affected by where you live in Winston-Salem. And this aspect about Winston-Salem feeling a little bit more spread out actually helps it feel a little less crowded. The 8th thing that most people don't realize about Winston-Salem is that it is not a super late city. It's not an all-night town. We do not stay up all night like New York. This town shuts down. And that is definitely something you have to think about when you move here. And it's something that I typically will tell you if you're relocating to the city, is that places to eat for dinner are not open super late. So I was just in New Mexico and I was in Albuquerque, and I was actually kind of shocked because I was in a Longhorn eating dinner and it was like 8:30, 8:45, and I asked the waitress, I said, "Oh my gosh, it's a Monday night. This place is packed. Is this normal?" And she said, "Well, actually, it's a lot busier than this. We actually will be busy up until 10 o'clock or later." And I was like, wow, that's shocking. She was telling me how they were not busy. Now in Winston-Salem, they shut down the place at 9, 10, 11 o'clock. So if you're going to hit up dinner, you definitely want to hit it up a little earlier. This is not a late town. You will not be able to book a dinner reservation for 10 o'clock and be able to be in the restaurant until 12 or 1. It's not the way this town works. It does shut down. Now it does have a lively downtown. There's bars and restaurants and places to hang out and breweries, but they don't stay open super late. I can imagine that probably 2 or 3 would be the absolute latest that a bar would stay open in Winston-Salem. So Winston-Salem is not a late town. So that's definitely something to think about. And me coming from a big city on the West Coast and also living in Nevada where things are open all night, it was definitely a change when I moved here, and it was something I had to think about, and I had to make sure and plan going to the grocery store a little bit earlier or going out to eat earlier. The 9th thing that people don't tell you about before moving to Winston-Salem is that Winston-Salem is full of growth. And I'm meaning between construction, road construction, people in general. Greensboro is one of the top cities where people are moving to. I think every week we have 7 or 8 people that are moving to Greensboro. Well, that is similar to Winston-Salem as well. So the city and the area is just growing. And with that, we have a lot of construction and road construction, and the North Beltway is actually being completed currently. And so you will run into a little bit of road construction and traffic with the new Beltway, but it is amazing. It is about 34, 35 miles of Beltway that they are putting in the area, and the accessibility that comes with this Beltway is so fabulous. The areas that they have open now, it is so so great. That has made Walkertown, King, Rural Hall, and other areas so much more accessible. And I can't wait until they finish the project. But for that, you just have to understand that there is a lot of growth in the area. There's a lot of new neighborhoods coming and new construction coming, just growth in general. Roads are being widened and the area is just growing. So it's definitely something to think about and to know that the area will be growing and will be changing rapidly. And the 10th thing to know about Winston-Salem is that people really do care about the way that it feels and the charm and the slower pace of life of Winston-Salem. So if you're looking for a super fast-paced city, Winston-Salem may not be the place for you. It is not super fast-paced. Now, it's not really slow either. It's a good pace. It has a very nice pace. It keeps life pretty balanced in Winston-Salem. Again, unless you're a realtor, because then your life is not balanced. But for overall, it is a good pace of life. People are moving their day-to-day life. They're enjoying life. It is a good pace and people love living here. They like the charm, they like the historic aspect, they like the feel of this city. They love the neighborhoods, they like the close-knit community and feel that Winston-Salem has. And they like the old town feel of it as well. It is a great place to live and it is growing and definitely it is changing, but I don't feel like it's lost its charm. And that is the biggest thing that people love about Winston-Salem. And whether or not that's a good fit for you, only you can decide. You will know if you love Winston-Salem as much as everybody else does. So those are the 10 things that people need to know about before moving to Winston-Salem. To sum it up about what we just chatted about, Winston-Salem is a lot more than people expect. It's growing leaps and bounds. It has a good pace of life. It is definitely shaped by the healthcare system. And that's kind of cool because of the history of Winston-Salem. And there's nothing wrong with that, but the history of Winston-Salem, really, it was defined by tobacco as well as textiles. So it's kind of cool that Winston-Salem has really changed the way it's shaped. And now it's shaped with the healthcare system, the universities. Life in Winston-Salem is a great life. And remember that you will have to have a car or be car dependent living in the area. And some of the best neighborhoods, the homes are going to be older. But there is so much charm in Winston-Salem and so many of the best neighborhoods. I think you will find what you are looking for. If you have any questions about Winston-Salem, Greensboro, or anywhere else in North Carolina, you can call, text, or DM me, or hit the Zoom link below and set up a meeting where you can chat with us face to face.